Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving into something we've all been through, exams. We're going to break down the most common mistakes that can totally tank your score, and more importantly, we're going to give you the exact game plan to beat them.
You know that feeling, right? You walk out of the exam hall and you just get this sinking feeling. You study for weeks, you absolutely knew the material, but the grade you get back just doesn't show it. It's so frustrating, and if you've been there, trust me, you are not alone.
Well, here's the good news. That gap between what you know and what you score. It almost always comes down to a few really predictable traps. This isn't about how smart you are, it's all about technique. So, we're going to tackle these traps in 3 key areas. First, your mindset, then your strategy, and finally your execution. All right, first up, let's get into your mindset. This is the internal game. You know, the battle that happens in your own head that can seriously decide the outcome before you even write a single word. Okay, so you see a question you weren't expecting, and bam, your heart starts racing, your brain suddenly feels like it's full of fog, and you can't for the life of you remember that thing you knew perfectly just an hour ago. This isn't just you being nervous, it's a real thing. Stress triggers a mental block, and it literally stops you from accessing what you've learned. But the great thing is, you don't have to let that panic win. There's this super simple 30-second reset that works like a charm. It just stops that anxiety from spiraling, calms everything down, and gives your brain the space it needs to get back in the game. The all-nighter. I know, it feels like you're being so productive, but it's actually a double whammy of bad news. First, cramming just shoves information into a really unstable, short-term part of your memory. It might be there 1 minute, but under pressure, poof, it's gone. And second, you're giving up sleep, which is the exact thing your brain needs to lock that knowledge in for the long haul. So you end up walking in tired with shaky knowledge. It's just a recipe for disaster. Listen, an exam is a solo performance. Every single second you spend looking around to see how fast someone else is writing or what they're doing, that's a second you've lost. It shatters your focus, and it just invites panic and self-doubt. Your only job in that room is to focus on your paper. You have to create a mental bubble and just stay inside it. Okay, now for our second pillar, strategy. A great mindset gets you in the door, but a smart game plan is what helps you actually conquer the exam paper itself.
This is the silent exam killer. You spend 20 minutes on a question that's only worth 5 marks, and then you look up and realize you've only got 15 minutes left for the giant 25-mark essay. The fix is so simple. Use the very first minute of the exam to scan the whole paper and give each section a time budget based on how many points it's worth.
You know, there's a huge difference between just seeing a question and actually understanding it. The blind rush is when you see a key word you recognize and just dump everything you know about it. But the strategic read, that's where you break down the question. Are they asking you to analyze or compare or just describe? Answering the exact question they ask is where you find all the top marks. This is all about getting the most points possible. Think about it. Every minute you spend in that exam is an investment. You want the highest possible return on that investment, right? Well, spending 10 minutes on a question worth 2% of your grade is just a bad investment, especially when there's a question worth 20% waiting for you. See, the potential for points just isn't the same across the whole paper. Your time and your energy are limited. A smart test taker puts them where they'll have the most impact. You should treat the number of marks as a direct instruction for how much time you should be spending. Hitting a wall in a question doesn't mean it's game over. Skipping isn't giving up. It's a strategic move. Go get the points you know you can get, build up some momentum, and you'll be surprised. When you come back to that tough question later, the answer often just comes to you.
Okay, on to our final pillar, execution. You've got the mindset, you've got the strategy, now it's all about the little details that stop you from losing easy marks, right at the finish line. This is so important, especially in subjects like math, physics, or chemistry. Just writing down the final answer is a huge gamble. I mean, if you make one tiny little mistake in your calculation, you could get a 0 for the whole thing. But if you show your work, the formula, the steps, an examiner can see you knew what you were doing and give you most of the marks. It's your safety net. Think about the person grading your paper for a second. They probably have hundreds to get through. If your paper is a mess and it's hard to read, you're making their job tougher. And honestly, if they can't figure out what you wrote, they can't give you credit for your brilliant ideas. Clean, organized work makes sure your points actually land. Finishing early is not the goal. Using every single second you are given is the goal. That final 5 to 10 minutes is pure gold. It's your dedicated time to hunt for all those small, costly mistakes and just maximize your score.
And a review isn't just a quick passive look over your paper. No, it should be an active hunt. You're specifically looking for these unforced errors. Did you answer parts A and B but totally miss part C? Did you accidentally use meters in one step and centimeters in the next? This checklist is your last line of defense.
So, let's pull it all together. This isn't just a list of mistakes to avoid. This is a powerful ritual you can adopt. Just imagine walking into your next exam with this clear, confident plan. This is how you take control and make sure your final grade really shows what you know. Look, you don't have to change everything all at once. So just think about it. Out of everything we've talked about, what's the one strategy, the time allocation, that 30-second reset, the review checklist? What's the one thing you can commit to trying next time? Making just one of these changes can make a huge difference.